Tom Pin sits alongside head men's and women's track and cross country coach Eric Blake as we sit down and talk about the 2017 cross country season. Let's start and go back to the summer. So before we can talk about the fall, we need to talk about your summer and what you did. The annual Mount Washington road race, and then a trip overseas to run an uphill marathon. Can you explain a little bit about those?
It was in Zermatt, Switzerland, a 26-mile uphill marathon. So went over and it went well.
And finished
first.
Yes. Yeah. Went over and went well. He finished first. Take me a bit through it a little bit. Entirely uphill? Is there any downhill? Where did you start? Where did you finish?
A little flat, a little downhill. So it in the town of Zermatt, it starts 13 miles downhill from the city. So you start about halfway through is Zermatt, and the second half it really starts to climb, and it finishes about 8,500 feet.
And we created a little niche for yourself here with this uphill running and become one of really the premier uphill runners in the country, if not the world. Did you run Mount Washington this past year?
Yes, yeah, I finished third.
That's it, only third. You've won
3 times.
3 times. Finished second.
Second, 4 or 5. It's getting up too many seconds. And
a member of the Mount Washington Road Race Hall of Fame.
Yes.
For your success there. And tell people about that race if they don't know something about it.
So
it's only one hill.
Yeah, there's one hill. The first 100 meters is slight downhill, and then it climbs
100 meters.
7.5 miles, about 12% grade, all on road, on the auto road.
And the time that you look for in that is about a half marathon time, correct?
Yeah, it's 20K half marathon.
So you're at like an hour. For somebody like me, you'd look probably like 2:15-ish.
That's what the average correlates to, but I can't run anywhere close to a half marathon in an hour. But probably the average is about your half marathon time. But that's my goal, is usually to break an hour. This year is slightly over. Last year I was actually my personal best last year. So
that's insane.
So looking forward to doing it each year.
It's become, every year in our photographer Steve McLaughlin usually makes the trip, and we get great photos of you running up the mountain, and you're finishing third. The 2 guys ahead of you are not to call you old, but the 2 guys ahead of you usually a lot younger.
Yeah, they were
younger than
8 or
me,
10 years younger. Yeah.
So that's just incredible.
Thank you.
Let's go to the season. Let's talk about the cross-country season. And certainly the premier men's program in the Northeast Conference in the last 8 years, and maybe a little bit before that. The women's program, and as we saw with the outdoor track and just missing winning the outdoor track championship in the springtime, has certainly gotten to the level where they're going to compete every single year for that title. Brittany Mendelson, back-to-back individual championships on the women's side. Let's start with the men. And we certainly try to peak with the NEC Championship, which we will host here at Stanley Quarter Park again this year. How do you prepare the season? We'll start on September 9th for your first meet. Everyone's not always running every week. We're kind of getting ready for that NEC Championship to try to win number 9 in a row, which would be absolutely amazing. But how do you prepare for that meet?
Well, for the men's team, both teams, we try to, it's individual focus in the sense that we look at what races make sense for each individual beforehand. Like some of our runners, we'll open them up next week. They need the experience of racing and they enjoy racing. Others have plenty of races in their bank from past years and don't need that many, so we'll push back their start date. But it really starts in the summer. They logged a good amount of miles. They came in, both teams came in healthy and ready to go. But it's definitely, we try to, if you can get it right, to really peak later in the season.
You'll have the opportunity to run twice at home before the NEC tournament, and I assume in one of those meets we're going to see a boatload of NEC teams come and run the course.
Yeah, I think the first meet, the Ted Owen meet, is probably the meet will get the most conference teams due to the distance of those 2 races are 8K for men and 5K for women, which is the same the conference will have about 6 weeks after that.
Every championship is special, certainly. 8 in a row on the men's side, and that now there's a little bit of pressure every year to stay on top and get that championship. And certainly there's a target on your back from other teams in the conference. How special is it to do it at home, to have the opportunity to do it here? Because now you've got this little following and there's lots of people there and lots of people watching. And how different is it to run at home?
It is. I believe overall it seems to be an advantage. The last two have gone well, and they know the course so well. They're running on it almost every day. So plus the fan support has always been great. Teammates from the track and field team come out. Other sports athletic teams come out. So we look forward to it. I also think the backwoods. Where there's an uphill and some downhill, like our team knows as well as, or better than any other team in the conference.
Give me two runners on the men's side to look out for this year.
Well, both Austin Trainer and Alex Nordstrom came in really good shape. Both were all conference last year, and they look to finish up real high up in the conference.
How about on the women's side?
Well, Brittany Mendelson, as you said, was won the last 2 years, is ready to go. And then two of her teammates, Maddie Mondo and Dawn Hubble, were all conference, and it's a really good top three. Great leaders on the team. Both teams have we have three all conference returners on both sides. Ryan Herzog and the men from 2 years ago. So we have the three on both sides. So it's really getting that fourth and fifth, five score in our sport. So we really need that fourth and fifth on both sides, which we have some younger runners, some mid-distance runners that if they can transition to 8K and 10K later in the year, we should be in good shape for the men. And transition to someone like Megan Bronner, who is a redshirt freshman, 1,500 runner in track. If she can get up to run 5K, we're in pretty good shape.
A couple of years ago on the men's side, we did the ultimate finish where we finished 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
5, and you can't have a better score than that.
No, the 15. Yeah, that was a great day here at home. So that was a good team. We and this every team is slightly a little different. This year again, it's got our mid-distance guys to be able to run 8K.
Coach, we thank you for your time. You certainly have done the most, getting the most out of your team when it needs to happen, performing on the big stage when it comes to conference championship time, and then indoor track and outdoor track. And kudos to you and your athletes. I mean, we see them running around all over the place. We see the orange shirts with the logo running all over the place, and a testament to them and their hard work, and to you and your staff for getting them ready. So we wish you good luck starting next week, and we'll talk to you again before conference championship time. Thank you.